Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I would like to greet you all with the best greeting in the world. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Amira binti Jafri and I'm here alongside with my dedicated research partner, Nurul Madiha binti Risha Faizal, under the guidance of Professor Dr. Sharifah Faika Said Alwi. The topic of our presentation today is exploring the potential of using zakat funds of Islamic banks for microfinancing. This topic not only aligns with the principle of Islamic finance, but also addresses the broader goal of socio-economic development through the applications of Islamic financial instruments. Before we get into the details of our findings, let me provide you with a brief roadmap of our presentations. We will begin by outlining the introductions and backgrounds of our research, followed by the literature review. Then, we will present the methodology employed. After that, we will delve into our key findings and discussion, and finally, we will conclude our presentation. BNM highlighted in its Financial Sector Blueprint 2022 that zakat is one of the Islamic social finance tools used to help the poor and needy in social and economic development. This Financial Sector Blueprint is in line with the value-based intermediation VBI framework that was introduced by Bank Negara in 2017. This VBI framework encourages Islamic banks to go beyond compliance with Shariah principles and to actively contribute to the well-being of individuals and the broader community. Meanwhile, according to a study conducted by Gremio 2019, microfinance has been renowned worldwide as its potential to effectively and sustainably alleviate poverty and promote economic growth by enhancing income-generating opportunities. However, microfinance provided by financial institutions is difficult to obtain, particularly for the poor and low-income households, including Asnaf, because it is subject to certain restrictions and limitations. Therefore, zakat is regarded as having significant potential to offer a solution for the mentioned issues. Islamic banking institutions serve as the main contributor to business zakat in Malaysia. There are 16 Islamic banks that are obliged to pay zakat. The table shows the total amount of business zakat paid by Islamic banking institutions in Malaysia as of December 2018 until December 2022. As we can see on the table, the economic crisis triggered by the pandemic has resulted in a decline in zakat collection and increased burden on zakat institutions to distribute funds. Meanwhile, the Department of Statistics Malaysia reported that the number of Asnaf families in Selangor is expected to increase every year and reach 157,000 families by 2030. Thus, the consumptive zakat distribution method is exposed to the risk of deficit in zakat allocation. Comprehensive approach and the modification of zakat distribution method consistently need to be taken to address these issues. Therefore, this study explored the potential of using Islamic banks' zakat fund for microfinancing by analyzing the Shariah rulings regarding these issues, as well as the mechanism adopted by Islamic banks in managing zakat-based microfinancing. Our study is driven by two primary objectives. The first objective is to examine the opinions of contemporary Shariah scholars toward using Islamic bank zakat fund for microfinancing. The second objective is to investigate the justification behind the acceptance and rejection of implementing zakat-based microfinancing among the Islamic banks in Malaysia. Now, let's move on to the literature review. This literature review will be focusing on zakat-based microfinancing. According to a study by Ali Arif et al. 2020, one of the techniques employed by the zakat institution in distributing the zakat fund is via business capital. Meanwhile, a study by Adnan et al. 2019 stated that Providing zakat in the form of microfinancing allows the mustahik to have a necessary capital to strive for the maximum growth and opportunities. This statement, being supported by Tuan Mahmud et al. 2021, indicated that the improvement in their standards of life have encouraged Asnaf to shift from being zakat recipients to becoming contributor of zakat. Next, Ibrahim et al. 2021 perceived that Asnaf entrepreneurs will have the desire to continue operating their businesses if financial grants are not required to be repaired. However, the result of the author studies revealed the opposite. Even though the Asnaf entrepreneurs did not have repayment obligation, but they experienced more financial failure. For the methodology, this study conducted a qualitative research methodology where in-depth interview sessions were conducted with contemporary Shariah scholars and the bankers who involved directly with zakat-based microfinancing.
Okay, now let's dive into our next session regarding the result and discussion obtained through the interview session. The opinion from the Sharia scholars assists researchers in achieving the RO1 pertaining to examining the opinion of Sharia scholars towards using zakat funds for microfinancing. And the findings indicate that there are two perspectives from the Sharia scholars which are allowed and disallowed to use zakat fund for microfinancing. And the Selangor Mufti Department agrees with the implementation of zakat-based microfinancing as a means of maintaining and sustaining the zakat fund. The informant emphasized that there is a need to use the zakat fund, but with certain conditions. And one of the main conditions is regarding the tamlikus zakah, whereby the cycle of the zakat fund only can be used within 3 years, and after 3 years, the fund is directly given to the Asnaf entrepreneurs without any repayment obligation, and thus the Asnaf entrepreneurs attaining the status of milkutam of the zakat fund. And meanwhile, from the interview session with the chairman of Great Eastern Takaful Berhad, revealed that the informant strongly agrees with this innovation, as he stated that zakat-based microfinancing empowering advancement of Islamic banks, as unlike conventional banks that prioritize profit-oriented business, Islamic banks offer a diverse range of products which include court-based financing, which is interest-free loan. And in addition, the informant pointed out that if zakat can be given to the debtors, or also known as al-gharimin, to settle their debts, so it is much more justifiable if the zakat can be used for financing. But however, there is anonymous disagreement among the fatwa committees of Wilayah Persekutuan regarding the implementation of zakat funds for microfinancing, as they stated that zakat-based microfinancing seems to be against with the core principle of zakat and maqasid sharia, as it doesn't fully alleviate the burdens of the asnaf, and he stated that zakat should be given directly to the asnaf without any obligation of repayment. Okay, now let's move on to the finding and analysis of RO2 regarding to investigate the justification behind the acceptance and rejection of adopting zakat-based microfinancing among the Islamic banks in Malaysia. Okay, after making extensive efforts to explore the official website, email and contacting the Islamic banks in Malaysia, our findings indicated that Alliance Islamic Bank Berhad is the only Islamic banks in Malaysia that implements zakat-based microfinancing. And the informant stated three key reasons why the bank believes the adoption of zakat-based microfinancing as necessary. Stated that the objective of zakat-based microfinancing is first, to sustain the zakat fund; second, uplift the asnaf via entrepreneurship; as well as zakat-based microfinancing can be an excellent alternative financing approach for unbankable individuals. And on the other hand, the informant from Bank Islamic revealed that they have alternate sources other than zakat fund to assist the ashraf entrepreneur, and meanwhile, for the bank muamalat stated that no fatwa pertaining the use of zakat fund for microfinancing. And thus, these are the main reason why these Islamic banks not implement zakat-based microfinancing. We have come to the end. In a nutshell, the utilization of zakat funds from Islamic Bank for microfinancing holds significant potential, as zakat-based microfinancing is an innovative way of distributing zakat to address poverty among the Asnaf by empowering them for self-sustainability. It's like providing a fishing rod and bait to catch more income rather than just covering their basic living expenses. And we, as the researchers, favor the view supporting the implementation of zakat-based microfinancing in Islamic bank, as these innovations allows Islamic banks to maximize the impact of zakat funds. Rather than simply providing one-time financial assistance, this innovation enables the funds to be recycled and continuously benefit a larger number of asnaf in the long run. As we come to the end, we like to express our gratitude for your attention and engagement, and it has been a pleasure sharing these insights with you. Let's carry these ideas forward and together make a positive impact. Thank you for your time and Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.